This is your main man, King Bishop. I'm going to give y'all a little bit of the Qualcomm. This is the, I believe it's the SP200 model of the Qualcomm. A lot of companies use it. And this is what the screen will come up when you first start your truck up. This is basically telling you that do not use this device while you're driving. And you could have a serious accident by using this while you're driving. So it's telling you keep your eyes on the road. Okay. Hit OK, and it'll bring you to this screen right here. Okay. Different companies allow you to have different tabs. My former company used this, critical event reporting. When I was with Snyder, we did use the workflow. Let me bring this down. Maybe I can see it better. Y'all can see it better if I put it on my lap. Alright, that's probably not gonna work, but I'll try it. Alright, so just starting out, man, you're gonna see that you have a driver login. I'm already logged in. Alright, if I wanted to add a driver, if I had a co-driver, I can add the driver here and it would come in as an inactive. If I was logging out to go into the shop, I would have to come back on the screen and log back in because I want to log out to make sure the shop is not giving me any time I didn't accumulate. Alright, if I wanted to change, if it was another driver here, I could change it and make them, team drivers you can change over or trainers. Go back to the home screen. You have your vehicle inspection report. Now, hey guys, man, DOT regulates that you do a pre-trip, at least a pre-trip every day, or at least a inspection report. They mandate you do a pre-trip and a post-trip. But you have to have a log of at least a vehicle inspection report every day. So on these models, and the same thing on one of my other companies, you click on it, you hit select for the vehicle. It gives you a whole list of things that could be wrong with it. Okay? Other things that could be wrong with the truck. If you hit other, it will bring you to another screen. So if you say any defects, yes, and hit other, you go to the next page, it will give you a comment section, okay, to describe what is going on with the truck. But I go back previous because I don't have any defects, so I would click no, okay, I click other, click no. It will ask me for my truck number, okay, and I'll go ahead and go through this because it won't hurt. My truck number here is 9418. Hit done, and it's going to ask me if I have a trailer. Vehicle inspection complete for your tractor. Do you have a trailer? I do have a trailer. And they ask you the same things. What's going on? Do you have any defects? Alright, I'm not going to go through this part because I don't know this long trailer number. But what happens with this, if you hit yes on any of these options, the company safety department will send you over a message shutting you down. So, what they always taught us is always go through your vehicle inspection report, put no, call the company and get whatever it needs to be fixed, because this will shut you down. And it also shows a record to DOT that you had issues with your truck, so they know what to look for if you had an issue. So say for instance I had an issue with my left headlight not working. Okay, now DOT knows that, hey man, maybe his left headlight has a short, let me check that out. Okay, so you want to just hit no and then call the company and get it fixed before you get rolling. Alright, so it'll give you your date, the time you did the vehicle inspection report, and it'll say no defects. I did my trailer this morning, so you see the time that says 06:05, 7:30. Trailer inspected, no defects. Back to the home page. And I think the sun has dropped now where I can move this up. Okay, at the bottom of these ones, you have a settings button. See it right here? And you can turn up your brightness. I'll turn up the brightness so you can see a little better. And these Qualcomms also talk to you. So you can turn up your volume if you're using the GPS, it'll talk during the volume. Okay, and I'll show something of her talking to me a little later. But right here, so we already went to driver login, we went through vehicle inspection. We go through messaging, okay? Through here is where you get all your messages. You get your messages from dispatch, from safety, from whatever. Right here you see my load info. I had some messages yesterday from my nighttime dispatcher asking me, did you already take the empty for the load that you guys know about? Of course I did. I'm a roller, man. Here's your outbox. This shows you all the messages you have sent out. In case they say, hey man, I didn't get that message, you can tell them, hey, well I sent my daily check call in on 060216 at 10:55. So if you didn't get it, it's not my fault. Alright, you have your compose section. All the companies will have their macros here. You have your freeform. The macro 19 here is the load acceptance. The micro 20 is the arrive at shipper. The micro 21 is the load info, the part first stop, and you have them all the way down for different macros. And when you open these macros, what it does is it just gives you a template. So when I hit my load acceptance, they want to know my load number if I have any comments. I don't have any comments. If I'm arriving at shipper, they want to know what's my load number. Did you get the time written on the bills of lading? Okay, so every company macros are different, and they just give you a little blueprint so you don't have to worry about exactly what needs to be up there. They give you the form, and you just fill in the boxes, okay? So go back to the home screen. You have your navigation. We say the best for last without the service. You have your navigation. Now, I've never used the navigation on this Qualcomm because I have my Ram McNally, and I will turn her on for you guys so I can show you a little bit about her too, because I love my Ram McNally. But I've never used it, so it's going to take forever to load up because I've never ever used the GPS on this Qualcomm. Should have left it alone. This one is ran by Copilot. I believe that's the same system we used when I was with Snyder. So you just add a destination, you put in the address, and ask you the zip code.
Enter city name or zip code.
You hear her talking to me now? Do it again.
Enter city name or zip code.
Enter city name or zip code. She'll talk to you, kind of help you out. Alright, we're not going to mess with that, but that's just a little GPS. Works just like any other GPS. But it gives you truck routing, okay? Hours of service. Okay, when you open your hours of service, you want to make sure...
5 hours and 49 minutes of remaining drive time.
She'll tell you how much drive time you have left. I'm parked for the day, so I'm not worried about it. But your name should come up in the left corner. If you had a co-driver, you hit that button and you can switch over to find out what their logs are. Okay, the status will tell you. It'll tell you what's your status right now. You're off duty. What time did you start your off duty? Okay, and ask you what time it is now. Okay, so I've been parked now for 26 minutes. 16:59. Well, you say 17:25 minus 16:59 equals 26. Okay, so it's telling you about the duty status you have at this moment. Not a previous one, but the one you have at this moment. I don't have any exemptions. Most people don't know what their exemptions are, but we're going to talk about that too. The last 48-hour reset, I don't have a reset, okay, because I just started. Hours to be gained. Now, if I were running recap, which means I was getting low on my 70 hours, your 70 hours runs for 8 days. So at the end of that 8th day, you will get back what you had the first day of those 8 days, and it will tell you how many hours you will be gained. It's called running in recap, okay? And it'll tell you again, hours to be gained in 2 days. So the next day, so hours, 70 hours in 8 days. So on day 8, it will let me know what I'll be getting back from day 2 of that 8 days in a row, okay? And it tells you what your mileage is for today. They only ran 304 miles parked because I'm close to my pickup. The exemptions tab. Now in the exemptions tab, you have a 16-hour rule. That does not give you more drive time, okay? You only have 11 hours of drive time no matter what, okay? But you can extend your 14 hours of on duty to 16 hours of on duty if you are starting and stopping in the same location. For instance, when I was a local driver and I would go to Delaware from Virginia, so good little drive, and it takes me a while to get back after they unload me. If I have to be on duty for more time, meaning I spent more time sitting around in the port, or I need to get fuel twice, or whatever, that 16 hours would allow me more time on my 14-hour clock. You can only use this once per week, okay? You had to have returned to your home terminal the night before, and you also have to be starting and stopping at your home terminal, okay? So if you're starting and stopping, if you're starting in Louisiana trying to get to Jacksonville, you cannot use it. You have to be starting and stopping in the same location for that day. So it really only applies to local drivers. You have your remarks, okay? Right now I'm on my 10-hour break, okay? But what this does is when your remarks are important because...
You have 5 hours and 49 minutes of remaining drive time.
Let's turn her down now. We heard her talk. I don't like that noise. So what your remarks are really good for is when you change your duty status. Say for instance I want to go to on duty. Oh, I need to go sleep berth. Sorry, still getting used to being OTR and not back local. And it's important. I'll show you why in a minute, but I want to get this right. Ain't this video getting long? Okay, so remember, when you are in a sleeper, you cannot go off duty for your 10-hour break and be in a sleeper. DOT will ask you, where's the receipt for your hotel at? You have to let them know that you are sleeping in this truck. Now, same thing, if you're in a hotel, you need to go off duty because you're not sleeping in a sleeper. All right, that's why those are different and important. All right, so if I want to go on duty for the day, I'm just starting my day off, The remarks are here because it tells you all the things you're doing. When you do paper logs, if you've ever done paper logs before, you know you have to tell DOT what city and state you're in, about where you are, what kind of business, and what you are doing. So this lets them know, hey, I'm fueling, I'm dropping and hooking, I'm doing a pre-trip, I'm doing a pickup, I'm doing a delivery, I'm doing yard work, I'm getting a DOT inspection, I'm doing a post-trip, I'm training, I'm chaining up or chaining off. And this is good. So a lot of times what I do is I'll go on duty for my post-trip, but I also got to get fuel. So I'll go ahead and hit them both at the same time. And while I'm in the fuel aisle, while I'm fueling, I'll go ahead and do my pre-trip around the outside of the truck and the trailer. All right, so you can do two things at once. That's why you have two different tabs. The same thing if you were doing a pickup, or you're doing a drop and hook. You also need to do a pre-trip on that trailer you just got, or a post-trip on the trailer you just dropped. So it allows you to do two things at once at the same time. All right. So we go ahead and cancel out of that. You have your summary. Your summary lets you know the clocks you have available. Now, up here, you'll see this. It says 5 hours and 49 minutes. If you click that, it'll tell you the time in which your home terminal is. It won't tell you the time in which zone you're in now, but it'll tell you what the time zone of your home terminal. My home terminal is in Tacoma, Washington, I believe, so that's why it's giving me this time. Even though technically my home terminal is in Jacksonville, Florida, but because all the owner-operators are technically out of the Washington terminal, it's going to give you that time. All right. This clock here is going to give you the lowest amount of time you have available. So what that means is DOT regulates that within the first 8 hours of you being on duty, not within the first 8 hours of you driving, but the first 8 hours of you being on duty, you have to take a 30-minute break. So the clock you see right here, I have 8 hours before I take my next 30-minute break. You have your 11-hour drive time. This is all the drive time I have left for the day. Okay, I have 5 hours and 49 minutes if I need it. Your 14-hour on-duty clock. This lets you know how much time you have left to be on duty for this day. Okay? You have your 70-hour clock. This lets me know that I've already used 33 and a half of my hours for this week. Okay? At this point, if this goes down, I would either have to run off the recap like I told you, which is the hours to be gained, or I have to take a 34-hour reset, which means I have to sit for 34 hours straight. And then I would get this clock filled all the way back up to 70. Clocks, I don't really know what that does. Graph. Okay, so just like you were looking at a paper log, it does the same thing, but the good thing about electronic logs is it does it all for you. So remember, I have to tell you, you have to do exactly what you're doing. You have to tell me exactly what you're doing. From here, I was in a sleep berth. You can see right here, I was driving. Okay, my duration was 4 hours and 5 minutes. That's the time I started, and it tells you my status. I was driving. Where was I at? I was 3 miles southeast of Slidell, Louisiana. Okay. So that's another one. Got your daily log. It just gives another breakdown without the graph. It shows you something else. I'm not going to show edit or anything like that, but it shows you where I was. I was in Orange, Texas. Okay, the Qualcomm's being slow. Trying to make this video quick. Oh Lord. Okay. Let's move on. It's being slow. Your 8 days tab. Okay. This lets you know what you've been doing the last 8 days. So it tells me that today I ran 304 miles. I was driving for 5 hours and 11 minutes. I was on duty for 6 hours and 12 minutes. I was getting home. Yesterday, 0604, I drove 489 miles. I was on duty driving for 8 hours and 28 minutes. I was on duty completely for 10 hours and 28 minutes. It tells me the day before that, I drove 294.7 miles. I was driving for 5 hours and 22 minutes. And I was on duty for 12 hours and 1 minute. Okay? You have to approve your logs to get them sent into the log department over at OmniTracks, and they keep tracks of your records just in case the DOT needs a copy of them. Once you have your logs in, you hit approve, it sends them off. This will all be empty. I haven't done it yet because I have to do a correction. And pretty much, man, that's the basics of the Qualcomm. You know, it's the basics of the Qualcomm. I know it's kind of fast and kind of sped through, but I hate making long videos. So, as always, man, I appreciate y'all watching. It's your man, King Bishop. Please like, comment, subscribe. I'm trying to knock out a bunch of videos today while I have time and I have sunlight. Right now, actually, since you asked, oh man, we got to get one with this thing. We got to get one with this Ram McNally. Jeez, we got to get one with the Ram McNally 720. I'm on Texas 62. I am here, and that's where I have to go to get my load. But I'm here now taking my 10-hour break at